A lot of people have asked me how I got involved in CBT. Well, I didn't initially. Ever since I was about 5 or 6, I wanted to be a teacher. And I studied education in college, and then did teach kids with learning disabilities how to read. But along the way, I realized that if I wanted to do something more than be a classroom teacher, that I needed another credential. So I decided to go back to graduate school and initially studied education and then added psychology to that. I didn't think that I would necessarily be a good psychologist, though, because teaching has always been very intuitive to me. And it sounds kind of funny, I think, at this point, but I didn't realize that I could just learn the skills of being a psychologist. I did. I became interested in my father's work, started to study cognitive therapy, and then I decided that really that was something that I should give a try to. So I formally started to study cognitive therapy, and along the way I found that it did become intuitive, but it took about 5 or 10 years for that to happen. In any case, I've really gone full circle. Once doing cognitive therapy became intuitive, I began to supervise people and also do some training. And it always surprised me what it was that people who were trying to do CBT didn't really understand. So then I brought my teaching skills to bear, and I think I had the particular skill of being able to break down more complex topics and procedures and explain them to people in a way that they could understand it more easily. I began to give workshops, I was doing supervision, and then when I found out what it was that people were struggling with, I'd take notes. And those notes became the basis of my first book, Cognitive Behavior Therapy, Basics and Beyond. Around the same time, my dad and I decided to open up the Beck Institute, which would be a nonprofit organization. Our goal from the very beginning was to become a training institute. But initially, we had a much larger focus on treating clients than we did on therapy. Then the internet came along, and people began to hear about the Beck Institute, and it changed from being 90% clinical and 10% training, probably to the opposite. So I still see patients, I still supervise clinicians, I do lots of consultations. There are many things that I do in my role as the president of the Beck Institute, but my heart has always been in both treating clients and in teaching other people how to do it more effectively.